Hello, you guys. It's been a while, I know. I haven't had a chance to get out into the garden for weeks, maybe even a month now, and I can feel it. This is why I have not been bringing you any videos. I have just not had any vitamin D. I have not had much sunlight. Haven't had a chance to get outside very much because it's been raining a lot. The weather has just been all over the place, and seasonal affective disorder is real. It kind of set in, and I just was not feeling very creative. I wasn't really doing much. So now the sun has come out, the weather has been great. Yesterday the weather was really very nice, so I got out in the garden and I feel much better now. I got out in the garden and I had to pull some weeds because I hadn't been out here in so long. It just looked a hot mess. So this is just going to be a really quick video to show you guys what I was working with before and what I'm working on, what I worked on yesterday and I'm finishing up today in terms of cleaning out my beds. And also, one of the big points of this video, like I said, seasonal affective disorder is very, very real. And one of the reasons that I garden is for my mental and my physical health. It just helps me to get out. We need to get outside and move around anyway, but it helps me to be able to cope with a lot of things a lot better. It helps me with my anxiety and my depression. And of course, like I said, it's really great exercise. So there's that point, and I'll link to another video where I initially talked about what got me started gardening. But then the other thing, of course, to have great literally organic food. But the other point of this video is just to say that it's never really too late to get out and start growing. So I'm way, way behind. I did put out some seeds directly in the garden, but there were so many weeds that I couldn't even see the seedlings coming up. Many of them did not even come up. But so in the meantime, I did start some more seeds like in little pods, and I'm gonna show you that. They're moving along very, very slowly, but they're still moving along. And so that's the other point of today's video, is just to say that it's never too late to get started. Depending on your zone, you probably can grow, like I can grow year round, and it doesn't really get super duper cold in Houston. So my cool weather veggies, which I'm standing in front of here in my starts, it's not too late for me to get those out. Once I get finished, once I finish today's chores with getting all the weeds out, then I can focus on those and maybe even just put them out. They're super tiny, but they'll do better in the actual garden than they will in the start. So anyway, let me turn you around and show you what I'm working with. Say hi, Lola. Lola is, hi, Lola. So this side of the garden, I got this done yesterday. You can see that the ground, excuse my shadow, looks pretty good. There's a few little leaves left in there, but yesterday, all of this was a hot mess for real. Like, it was a mess. That is the okra stump right there. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's okra stump. It was so big. All of this looked like that. This side, I'm not going to weed. I'm probably just going to come out and put vinegar there because I haven't planted here before, and I'm trying to amend the soil. That's why you see these beans here. Those are black-eyed peas, and the black-eyed peas grew really well all in this section here all year. But then I only did that again to fix the soil. And those black-eyed peas I did harvest, and we got a ton of dried beans in there. So all of this, like I said, used to look like that. Before yesterday, it looked like that. So that's what I'm working on today, just finishing all of this up. You can see I started on this side. All the green that you still see in this bed, those are just loose leaves. And then garlic that I planted out, and that's doing just fine. All the way across, you can see the weeds. Like, you see them? You can see the piles of weeds. And that other side was just like it. I had piles of weeds everywhere. So right now, I've made my way down to this side, and I've got this corner left, this portion left, and that portion left. So I am going to get that done. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. Meanwhile, let's go back and take a look on the patio. So those are potatoes. Those are potatoes. It's really, really foggy today, but at least the sun is out, so that makes me happy. Anyway, my herbs are still going. That is oregano. There's some thyme right here. I finally pulled up all the basil. This is a lettuce mix, a spicy lettuce mix. And then here are all my little cool season veggies. So there's cabbage in here, red and green cabbage, red cabbage, green cabbage, kale, it's not doing too well. Perpetual spinach, this is perpetual spinach. Brussels sprouts didn't come up at all. This is cauliflower. This is broccoli, mustard, greens, some rainbow Swiss chard. And what is this? I forgot what this. Oh, these are my collards. Of course, how could I forget that? Anyway, they're fine, but they're not going to do too much more in these little starts. I either will have to pot them up or put them straight out into the garden. And I'm not great at starting seeds. Look at this. Let me show you this. These are black eyed peas that I left sitting in like a little pot at the bottom of the pot like this, and they started to sprout. Things just want to grow. Anyway, I'm not great at starting seeds. So I think what I'm going to do is just put these directly out into the garden when I get done cleaning up and be done with it. So let me get back to my chores. And then, like I said, I will show you how much better everything is looking when I get done. All right, y'all. So I showed you guys this side earlier. Let's take a look at the progress, though, on this end. Excuse the rug on the grass. I'm trying to air it out because it was soaking wet. Look at this. Nice, mostly clean. Like, this is a huge difference from earlier. Huge. And the soil that was underneath all those weeds, no wonder they were growing so great, because look at that soil. All of this little green that you still see, those are just loose leaves of the weeds. I'm gonna try to, these are my pepper plants, bell peppers, and there's a couple of hot peppers in there. There's a cayenne, a Tabasco, and a habanero. I'm gonna leave those alone and just try to overwinter them, because I feel like every year I get a new Tabasco plant, but I haven't planted Tabascos in like 2 to 3 years. They just keep coming back every year. And these sorts of things happen when I just leave things alone. So I'm gonna leave those peppers, I call that pepper row. I'm gonna leave them alone and see if they survive the winter. If they die back, that's fine. That's just Mother Nature doing what she does. And if they don't, there's no harm, no foul, no love lost. This side right here was a little bit more difficult. So what I did was, on that back side by the fence, there were ants back there, and there's like right here where you can see I didn't really get things up real well. There were ants back there. So what I did was I put down, and it's on the other side of the fence actually, in the neighbor's yard. So I put down some granules on the other side in the neighbor's yard so that it's not in my garden, and then I sprayed that with a vinegar. So those will die back on their own, because the vinegar will kill them. And I don't plant that far back anyway. Everything comes up here, like where you see the hose. Only thing left to do is this bed over here, and then I'll be done. So really glad I got a chance to get out here and get this done. The temperature's dropping, and earlier I got caught by the rain, so it has taken me a lot longer than expected, a lot longer than it normally would take. And I do want to say this also, like, I had no choice today but to use my hoe to pull these weeds up, because we have all kinds of weeds here in Houston. Like, we have, when I say all kinds of weeds, the types of weeds that have long tap roots, the types of weeds that are like carpet-like. So you can't just like use a specialized tool and pull the weeds. You gotta use your hands, or you gotta get in there with a hoe. The reason I don't like using a hoe is because I do no-till and no-dig gardening. Well, of course, if I use the hoe, then I'm absolutely like turning the soil over. But in this case, I didn't really have much of a choice, because you saw how bad those weeds were. Like, there's no way I was going to be able to pull all of those by hand. But now that it's done, I've gotten myself a really good workout. So now all that's left is for me to come out and get my cool weather veg planted. Like I said, I'm going to use some of those baby seedlings over there and hope that those survive. And if not, it's not too late for me to sow some seeds directly out in the garden. So stay tuned for that. Just gotta wait for another day because, like I said, I've already gotten such a workout today. So stay tuned for that. And I know it's been a minute, but I'm back now, and the new year promises a lot of new content. So you guys, if you have not already subscribed, please do so. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. Until next time, you guys, thank you for watching. Bye.